Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Toffee Bluecast. We are live. It is, well, it's a bit of a crazy one, this, so stay with us because we want your reaction. We do want your reaction. I mean, this is a bit of a mad one. Paul, we spoke about this loads of times because obviously we've done roundups of transfers. And this lad's name that's on your glass there,
is it
with the number 18? Yeah, I think I can see on that glass number 18. Is that number 8? Does that number 18 stand for Paul Gascoigne?
And Rooney and Joe Parkinson and Mikel Madar.
It's a big number, that is. We couldn't get a good enough player to take that number, could we?
Is there anyone good enough around to be able to take that number off Mikel Madar?
I don't think there's a player that's got enough character to take Paul Gascoigne's number 18, is there?
I don't know. I think there's one. I think he used to play for Man City, but he wouldn't come and sign for us.
No. We couldn't afford his wages, could we? Everton Football Club, a relegation team. No,
not at all. Not at all. Yes, we have. We've got him.
Of course we have. Of course we have.
The calves have landed.
The calves have landed. Yes, they have, Emma. I mean, Emma's going to be not sure whether to look at Pickford or Jack Grealish now, so I feel sorry for her. She's probably going to pull a neck during some games. But do get your comments in. We all want to hear from you. We'll get your comments on the screen. We want to interact with you now. How do you feel? Yes, we have signed Jack Grealish. That is right. You are hearing this right. Jack Grealish has signed for Everton on loan. We've pulled it off. We really have pulled it off. And we said before that Jack Grealish would be a marquee signing, and I think it is. I really do think this is because this is someone that's before he's come to us not so long ago has won everything, literally won everything before he's come to us. So what a signing it is. And Paul's going to say how he thinks on the signing. I'm going to say how I feel. You lot get in the comments how you feel about signing Jack Grealish, and we'll just celebrate. And we'll have a bit of fun and we'll say what we think on it. And maybe Jack Grealish will even listen in and think, well, you know what? Let's see what these Evertonians think of me. And let us know now what you think of signing Jack Grealish. Now, the only disappointing thing is I've tried to listen to the video of him talking before and I can't find it. I don't think... Is it even there, Paul?
On the app, apparently. I've seen clips and... I've read more than I've watched, so it's all very positive. I like the fact that he mentions the fans on social media. Lots of people have been in touch with him. I like the fact that lots of people are taking credit for it. Alan Stubbs, for example, saw him a while back and said he should absolutely come and sign for Everton, and he has. And he has. We've got him for a season at the minimum. So that's good. I think we're all just. I think it's not just the player. I think it's everyone's excited about the person that he is, and that he seems to be a proper football fan, and he doesn't seem to get drowned in all the nonsense that goes around with some professional footballers. So I think he's very relatable to our fan base. And I think that's why we're as excited as the talent that he's actually got as well.
Yeah. Some people I can't remember who it was, but I was listening to Talk Sport. They chat a lot of crap, but sometimes I get that bored. I give them a listen just to see what's cracking. And they were saying that there was actually saying nice stuff, some of them. Simon was giving it a little bit of crap about Jack Grealish, but the proper footballers did say that Jack Grealish went about his business really well at Man City, didn't moan. Because you see when players get pushed out like Jack Grealish did at Manchester City, you see them start to spit the dummies out and stuff like that. And we'll look at what Isaac's doing over there. So, you do see players kick off and they leave with a bad smell. Do you know what I mean? And Jack Grealish hasn't. He couldn't have been any more professional to Man City. And luckily, he's got the move and got everything done now. So you've got to realise that he is, as though some people see Jack Grealish like a session, drinking, looks a bit like he's crazy. He isn't just completely crazy, because the way he's been about Man City pushing him out that squad and having to move on, I think he's done it really well.
Yeah, I think Lucy sums it up. Just seems down to earth, wears his heart on his sleeve. And when he wins, which he obviously has done a lot in the last few years, he celebrates like any of the rest of us would, you know. And he's not happy when he doesn't win, but he doesn't take it to absolutely ridiculous extremes like some footballers do. So, as I say, he's very relatable, and we feel as though we can carry him along and get him back to supposedly where he wants to be. You know, is it a move where he's thinking England? He might well be. Hopefully that is the case, because obviously it'll only benefit us. Whether he will get back into England with us is maybe another question. But I love the fact that he seems enthusiastic, as he should. He said good things in his interviews, which is good. He seems genuinely excited, and the vast majority of people and messages that I've seen is that people are really excited about it. I mean, we don't get many signings where immediately there's a ton of pictures of kids getting names on the back of their shirts of that player. Do you know what I mean? I mean, from all the other players that the players that we've signed so far, and I've done previously, you know, there was no kids, there wasn't 100 kids going to Everton shop and getting Barry on the back of their shirt, was there? You know, there wasn't 100 people getting Lindstrom or Jack Harrison even on the back of their shirt. So he brings a collective with him as well. He brings enthusiasm from other people. They want to see him do well. They're right behind him, and he brings this skill as well. And what is really good is that he can play in a few different positions. You know, it wasn't always left side at Villa, for example. He seemed to be pulling the strings across the pitch, to be fair. I mean, he is stated as being a left winger or left forward, but he's more than that. And I think City almost put him in that box when they did sign him. And we haven't ever had £100 million player, have we? So it's on the up and up, I reckon.
I put on X, and a lot of people like this one. I think it got about 1,000 likes on X, so people probably agreed with this. It had that James Rodriguez feeling. I think that was probably the last
player. Yeah, that's probably the last player, and it might not even be to that extent, just because of COVID and everything else. So, yeah, I don't think we've had anyone create the excitement since James, which was 5 years ago.
It's because a lot of the signings that we've had, no disrespect, because I'm really excited about Dewsbury Hall. I think he'll be a fantastic player. And he has just won something with Chelsea, which makes him quite exciting. But a lot of the signings that we've made in the past have been players that need to, they've got a long journey to become what they need to become. Jack Grealish is already established. He's done it. He's established. He's a big timer already. And a lot of these big-timer footballers, no disrespect to us, because Everton are massive, but at the moment we're not doing that well, don't want to come to Everton. So it's really hard to get a player of this calibre, Jack Grealish, to Everton. I'm still pinching myself, I really am. I can't believe we pulled it off. We spoke about it, and I was thinking, when I spoke to Elton Wellesby on a space, Elton Wellesby says, I've got some contacts that know what's cracking with Jack Grealish, and Elton Wellesby said, Jack Grealish wants to come to Everton. The destination suits him. It's where he wants to be. He said it would be perfect for him. He said he likes to move to Everton. Everything's right. Jack Grealish wants to move to Everton, but it's just whether Everton can sort it out with Manchester City to pay his wages, etc. We all seen the 300k wages and thought, no chance. absolutely no chance will we get Jack Grealish. And to be fair, you could see a lot of Italian clubs I expected someone to go for him. I really did. With how good of a player he is, I thought someone like AC Milan would come in for him. Napoli's already got a few, but I did think someone would come in for him that's in the Champions League because he is a Champions League player. Fortunately for us, they didn't. We said on the Toffee Bluecast, we're going to have to wait till the Jack Grealish situation because we feel it's going to be where everyone's turned their nose at Jack Grealish and then Manchester City start budging. It's happened further. It's happened like quicker than what I thought, Paul. I thought we was going to have to wait longer than this, but I'm happy with how quick we've got this deal done and over the line. Reason being is because I think now you've got Jack Grealish, where David Moyes was trying to get players and there was turning our nose at us. I don't think they will as much now you've got Jack Grealish. I honestly think he's an advertisement to come to Everton now. Because if a Champions League treble winner can come to Everton, then why can't any player come to Everton now? And I think Jack Grealish, he's broke that barrier now. It could be a domino effect where they're going to start to think to themselves, you know what? If I'm going to Everton, I'm playing with Njai, Jules Biol, Jack Grealish, Alcaraz. It's not bad, you know. Yeah, Jordan Pickford, England #1. Branthwaite, who's worth, 80, 90 million centre-back. It's not bad. It's really not bad. And I honestly, I can't tell you how excited it makes me now about Everton because I knew if we got this Jack Grealish thing in, it would be really good. And I said to Alan Myers when I spoke to him the other day, I messaged him and I said to him, do you think we'll get any wingers and stuff? And he said, yeah, we still will get a winger because Jack Grealish is not that position. He sees him as a number 10, really. So don't think because we've got Jack Grealish, we won't go out now and get a right winger and a right back because I know that's crazy to say, but I think we will still get more players. But I said to Alan Myers, I said to him, Jack Grealish, I know some people say I'm balmy, I always come out with random stuff. He is like the David Beckham of this era, you know, I believe. Like he is, with how much people love Jack Grealish, he's massive. He's a big name, isn't he? Like you don't realise how many people do love Jack Grealish. He's a big name to come to your club. Our club should make a lot of money off Jack Grealish coming to him. And they should really milk it and advertise it, you know, because everyone loves him. Like, honestly, everyone does love Jack Grealish. From Aston Villa to Manchester City, their eyes are on him. Their eyes are on him. He's a big name, isn't he, Paul? He's massive. And I think Everton need to proper capitalise on getting Jack Grealish, to be fair, because he's a massive name. He really is.
It is. It is huge. And you speak to any Villa fans, they'll tell you. He's very much like we were with Rooney. When we had Rooney, you know, he was our wonder kid. He was pulling a lot of the strings. He was scoring lots of important goals, and Villa saw him very much like that. So, and I don't think they've got any ill feeling about Grealish going to City, and I'd like to think that they wouldn't have any ill feeling about him coming to us as well because they weren't in for him. So I think everyone just wants him to do well. And it's that story of just building up and then get your dream move. But if anything, the sequel in his trilogy of career is where he comes to us, and it's his resurgence. You know, he had the move; it didn't go as well as he could. I mean, obviously, he won shite loads of trophies. He maybe just was getting a bit pushed out by one or two other players. And Pep didn't see him as being the main man anymore. So, you know, it's huge in this sort of second part of his career. He comes to us and he gets back on the horse again, gets on the pitch, gets scoring the goals and goes to a World Cup next year. That'd be absolutely fantastic. It'd just benefit absolutely everybody. And we all want to see it.
So when I've been looking, I was just looking now. When I've been looking on the Everton TikTok and stuff, the reaction, I put a lot of Jack Grealish stuff up, and a lot of Manchester City fans are saying that they felt that Pep had to do things his way sometimes, and it wasn't. He made sure he was stubborn and he had to do things his way, and he just wouldn't put Jack Grealish in to prove his point sometimes. And when personally, I think you look at Manchester City at the minute. And as I'm only going to talk about him briefly because it's our show and it's Jack Grealish. We've got the big man. But they're moving on that Savinio. They are. They've just gone and the other player's gone that we was linked to. Who's the other winger? McTay.
McAtee.
McAtee has gone to Forest, so they've got rid of two wingers, and now apparently they're going for that Real Madrid Rodrigo or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
I honestly do believe, and I'm not even joking. I think Jack Grealish is as good as Rodrigo, and I really do believe that. I think when Jack Grealish is on it, he's as good as Rodrigo. So what Manchester City are doing right now, I really don't know. But you know what Pep's like; he can be a stubborn bugger, and if Jack Grealish isn't in his plans, he'll push him out. But
yeah.
that's
Well,
benefit.
It was a few weeks back when we were talking about who we should go for and who we'd like to see and stuff like that. And I did mention, like we used to, go to Barcelona, go to Madrid, look at those players who are on the periphery of the squad, who are obviously good enough to be at those clubs, but aren't being selected in the first 11 very often. That's how we got Digne. Digne came from Barcelona, did the same. Who else did we do the same with? Oh, Deulofeu as well. Decent, young, promising players who've gone on to do really good things. So it's just a different big club, and that's what Grealish is. He kind of fits that kind of criteria that we seem to have got. So it's a cracking signing. It really is, and I think it surprised a lot of people.
Jack Grealish. That was meant to be some like hardcore music to celebrate Jack Grealish. I was actually dancing when it happened. I was I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. And to probably sum it up in words, it felt like you haven't had 3 birthdays and it was 3 birthdays at once. So you got all your presents at once, and that's what it felt like. It's just like because you think to yourself, you get Dewsbury Hall, and you watch Dewsbury Hall in the friendly against Roma, and you think, wow, he's actually quite good. He gets the tackles in. You could tell Dewsbury Hall was a baller. So we're all looking at Dewsbury Hall and all excited, thinking, what a player he is to go with Velleman and Jai. We're all excited, thinking, yes, we've landed a jackpot here, Dewsbury Hall. Remember, we're deprived. We don't normally get one good player. So we're looking at Dewsbury Hall all excited. A couple of days later, Jack Grealish as well. And you think, this is too much to handle right now. And I'm like, wow, Njai, Dewsbury Hall, Jack Grealish. I dreamed about it. I put it up on the screen, but I didn't think it could actually happen. I didn't think we would actually pull this off. And it looks like we're going to get a good right winger at the side of it as well. And Paul, you talking about, I know during last season, we've done match reactions together all season. You was really frustrated with the creativity, but wow, we got creativity now. Beto and Barry, if they don't score, I don't know what's going on, I tell you, because they're going to get stuff put on the plate for them.
Just say that again, mate. Went off, sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying, we've really hit jackpot. It feels like too good to be true, this, doesn't it? I was saying the strikers are going to get stuff put on a plate. We was talking about not much creativity last season. Wow.
I hope so. I think we just need. Yeah, and I think Ndai's our most creative player, but he's coming in from the left. If we could have, if we have Jack in that position in the centre like he was for Villa, or Ndai goes there and Jack is on the left, either way, whoever goes in there, we just need someone who can be a bit more prominent, because certainly in pre-season there didn't seem to be a good enough link in that number 10 position to whoever was playing up front. If you think back to Alcaraz and Beto links last season, which happened in about 2 or 3 games, where Alcaraz has slipped the ball through or won the ball on the, in the attacking third and then fed Beto in that way. I think it's happened a couple of times. I remember away against Palace. That's what we need. We've got a disconnect between our midfield and our striker, and we have had for a while. Ndai is trying to fill that gap, but he's filling it from the position that he's being played in, which is on that left-hand side. If you have Ndai on that left-hand side who's able to create things already, and you have someone in the 10 of the same ilk, then that could be incredible. I mean, Ndai also comes into the middle. So if you did have Jack, who is good enough to get down to the line or to cut inside, and then die in the middle in the 10. It's just more and more options. You just need that. We need that link. We need that link in that circuit just to get those strikers firing. And we haven't had that properly. And this could bring it.
Paul in the comments. Keep your comments coming, people. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe, please do so. We haven't been live for a while, but we're back and we will be going live loads. To be fair, once the season starts, you'll be thinking, are they here again? Are they here again? You'll never see the end of us. You know what it's like once the season gets started. We'll be here before and after every game, and we have to be. So, yes, we have had a little bit of break, but we will be here before and after every single game, no matter what. But, yeah, the comment on Paul there was saying, what is it? Grealish, Hall, Grealish, Hall, and then Jai, all with low socks. Now, if they've got low socks, you know the ballers. I mean, low socks definitely means they've got ability. I think that says it all. We normally have our socks pulled over to our knees because we're scared to kick a ball, but now we mean proper business. You just touched on it then, and I think we're going to probably talk about it now. Where do you see, and let us know in the comments, where do you see Jack Grealish playing? Because obviously he played left wing for Man City, but when I spoke to Elton Wellesby, he said when they spoke to Jack Grealish, Moyes said, I don't know how true this is, that the number 10 spots for him, that's where you can play now. And I've heard a few people say this as well, is that Jack Grealish behind the striker is what probably David Moyes sees. And I could see that as well. I could see that. So, Paul, what do you think? In the comments, let us know.
Yeah. As I say, that gap, you know, we've had lots of people who play in the 10, but we haven't had many who do link it very well with the striker. James was probably that with Calvert-Lewin, and that's why that tended to go quite well for Dominic during that season. But that was 5 years ago. I don't think we've had a proper link up for a long time. It certainly doesn't feel like it. Strikers haven't benefited from it, if we have had it, or certainly haven't been good enough to capitalise on it. So, yeah, if you look at when Jack played for City and Jack played for Villa, he's obviously still had, you know, great performance with City, but there was a rawness to him at Villa, and it might just be age, but I think there was also freedom there. You know, Jack was mainly left-hand side because of who else was at City. You know, De Bruyne, for example, or Foden, possibly. You know, there was lots of other people who were in that centre. Gundogan, as well, was a link with whoever was playing up front. So he was put into a box, and I think over time, because he wasn't being as successful on that left-hand side, and City bring in whoever else, Doku, for example, he was a different player, I think, to Jack. You know, he's all about pace. Not a great, not final product and stuff like that. I think Jack's got more of that, but Jack was just sort of getting edged a little bit. And he was still in the squad. He was still coming on and, you know, starting the odd game. But, you know, I think the trophies have sort of covered a little bit of maybe what was going on underneath, and the fact that he wasn't playing as freely as he was at Villa. And that's fine. I think all of us want to see him with a little bit of freedom on the ball and not put into a box. So if it is in that 10, I hope he's able to roam a little bit, because I think he can do far more damage for us.
Tazal says we still need that pacey winger. I think we are onto the pacey winger. We're looking at that lad at Leicester. I did put that up, and there's a few other players, and you never know whether the Tyler Diblin thing will spark back up. I do think we'll get a fast right winger. I definitely think that's on the cards. Someone says, here we go. Sam says, sorry, where's his interview? I got told it's on the app. I don't know if someone was trolling me. I don't know why it's not on YouTube. I don't know. The Everton YouTube, it should be on. it should be. I don't know what Everton have been doing today because I was a bit gutted with the video. I could have done that video better. I had really good ideas for Jack Grealish's reveal video. Honestly, it seemed rushed. I don't know what's been going on, but they probably knew Jack Grealish was signing 2-3 days ago. And the team that do the videos of the announcement should always have the setup ready in place. He goes in the studio. I don't know why we didn't keep the water thing where they look like they've just come out of Bramley Moor Dock under the water. I mean, it looked really good with the kit. So just keep that. And every time we get a player, get them coming out of the Bramley Moor Dock water and walking into the stadium.
You would have had him emerging from the Mersey, wouldn't you?
I would have had him Captain Jack or Titanic. I would have had something like that going on. I would have smashed it. I would have made it the best football announcement ever. And the thing is, my announcement of Jack Grealish would have been that good that it would have been all around the world because everyone would have looked at it. And I think that's why I said Everton have got to take advantage of how big of a player they've signed. And I honestly think that video should have been massive. I see other football teams do it. They link them to films and stuff like that when they sign players and they get like trailers of films. And I just think, even if you had Jack Grealish in one of the local frigging boozers having a Budweiser and link it to the new Budweiser advertisement and then just walking into Bramley Moor Dock and putting his kit on and say, go on then, I'm going to play. Just something to make all of us Evertonians laugh. We're easily pleased. Do you know what I mean? Just let us have a bit of fun. And that one way is just putting a kit on, little crops of him putting a kit on, was boring for me. Jack Grealish is a proper character, so you should use that on the intro video. I know it sounds like I'm being miserable, but I just think Everton sometimes, now we're a proper business club with the Freaking Group who make movies, we should be a better business. We should be doing everything to the best of its ability and excelling. That's what I think anyway. I'm a bit gutted with it because I waited all day, Paul, for the Jack Grealish video thinking I was going to get to see Pirates, and it was shocking. I was just thinking, is this it?
We're not Burnley, mate. We're not Burnley.
I refreshed my Twitter 24/7 today, hoping I was going to get a wicked video. It should have been Captain Jack on the ferry at least, yeah? You could have really got something good with, and it would have been, because you can tell, normally when we sign a player, it's not all over social media as much as it is with this Jack Grealish thing. I've seen Sky Sports coming out with something. Everyone, like all the social media apps is talking about Jack Grealish right now because they can't believe he's signed for Everton. So I feel, why didn't we just brag about it a bit more? But yeah, and they'll probably ring me up. Everton, I can see Everton ringing us up, Paul, and saying, Toffee Bluecast, can you help us out with the player intro videos? And we will. We're available. I'll gladly get my phone out and tell Jack Grealish what to do. And,
think of the standard of unicorn we could get.
Yeah, Jack Grealish would be funny. He'd be funny on videos. I'd love to interview Jack Grealish as well. He'd be good. I think me and Jack Grealish should be funny on interviews, you know, because he's down to earth, like you said, like people have said in the comments. He's really down to earth. Nice person as well, you know. He's done a lot of charity work, and he's nice to all the kids in football, mascots and stuff like that. He's just a proper nice guy. He's not. He don't turn his nose or be snobby at anyone. You wouldn't think he's a footballer. He's that type of person that you probably still see him in the pub, just having a drink in his normal clothes, thinking, don't treat me any different. That's what he's like. And I like that as well. I know some people will say it's not that important. It's about what type of footballer he is, but we've got a good footballer and a nice person here. And it's 50 million to buy, am I right, Paul? You'll probably know more than me. We have got
supposedly. We've spent 15 million on having him for this season. And there is supposedly a clause where we can buy for 50 million at the end of the deal, but everything points to us being able to do that at the moment. You know, all the sorts of dealings that we're doing, the noises, or the lack of noises coming out from the club. That's another thing that I've liked. You know, it's not been. You can't avoid, you know, sort of rumor and everything else surrounding Jack Grealish, can you? However, with other ones that we've signed, it's been fairly quiet. Do you know what I mean? It's not been overly mentioned by the club or anyone at the club, and I like that kind of business. You know, I think we get gazumped too many times by a Spurs or a Newcastle or whoever. And I'm glad that hasn't happened this time. Really glad that hasn't happened this time.
I remember something coming out a while ago saying the freaking group. David Moyes has said the freaking group want him to get Europa League. They're not messing about. They want Europa League now, and I do believe that this Jack Grealish signing has put a bit of pressure on David Moyes to say, right, I'm giving you the tools now. Try and get Europa League this season. I really do believe that as well. I think they've given him Dewsbury all from Chelsea, who won a trophy. I think they've given him Jack Grealish. They are putting some big ballers in, Paul. And what I really like is, do you know where people say we're going to get relegated? We're a relegation team. Some of those players that associate that was going to get us relegated are backup players now. Like, we're actually creating a new team and having what we had as backup players. So I think we're going to have a really strong squad now. My girlfriend Chloe, she said to me, she goes, where does Jack Grealish play? I goes, he plays behind the striker in the 10. She goes, yeah, but don't Alcaraz play there? I goes, yeah, he does. She goes, you really liked Alcaraz. You said he was like Tim Cahill and he was good. I said, yeah, I still do like Alcaraz. And let us know in the comments now as well. What do you think this means of Alcaraz? It feels a bit weird with Alcaraz because we're all super excited about signing him. We have signed him. And now it feels like, because we've got Jack Grealish, it's like, you forget about him. Do you get where I'm coming from, though, Paul? It's like he's still a good player, Alcaraz, isn't he?
Oh yeah, it shouldn't. If Grealish wasn't the signing, it would still be Alcaraz and I still our two best players. And then arguably, in not a lot of time, maybe Dewsbury Hall. But Alcaraz is still a quality player. I think people sort of have dipped slightly lower than when he first came and after his first couple of games because he hasn't scored and his shooting from the edge of the box recently hasn't been very good either. So, you put Alcaraz a little bit deeper instead of playing him out wide right.
Dewsbury Hall there though.
Yeah, well, yeah. Or you put him in the in position next to Garner Gay. Alcaraz has still got a good future with us, I think, and can still cause lots of problems. I just love the fact that he is really good on the ball and he can find a pass. There's plenty of them pre-season games. He did make 1 or 2 runs into the box. It was just that he either ran into or got ran into either Beto or Barry in his way. So I think Alcaraz has still got a good place. Definitely a good place in the side.
Maybe they do listen to us because they have gone and put the Jack Grealish video on YouTube now. So I reckon literally they're listening on Toffee Bluecast and the foot. Bloody hell, we forgot to upload the video with Jack Grealish. So it is on there. If you do want to listen after this show, when you come off, have a little listen. But yeah, Jack Grealish little interview that we didn't get earlier on. I don't know why we didn't get it straight away, but there we are. We have got a proper team now.
Yeah, Paul just mentions then about trying to fit him in the side and replacing Garner. I think Alcaraz can do that Garner job. I think Dewsbury Hall is very much like, it feels like a Garner type player as well. So there's competition there. It can only be good for James Garner as well. If you're going to be in the side, you've got to make sure that when you're playing, you're doing the business.
The thing
there's going to be a lot of competition in that midfield.
We know how our season goes. Players are going to get injured. Players are going to fatigue. Players are going to be carrying a knock. I love Iliman Ndiaye. He's one of my favourite players, but because he's so skillful and he puts so much energy, he can burn out after 60, 70 minutes, and Ndiaye kind of need to come off to look after him with the way he plays. And you might have to take Ndiaye off for Alcaraz. You might have to take Ndiaye off for Grealish and Ndiaye off for McNeil. We've got good strength and depth now, really good strength and depth, actually, because McNeil was probably one of our best wingers. Now he's going to struggle to get into the squad. And I think that says it all about how we're moving forward now. Because literally, that's where we was at.
Well, there's a niche position at the moment, and I still hope that we do buy a right winger with pace, because that is something that we still lack. I still don't think that we've got anyone I would class as rapid. So, but there is a position at the moment that McNeil can fill, and he can play right hand side. He comes inside. He scored a few goals really from coming inside and then having a shot off the right hand side. But I can only see him being in that position if Ndai and Grealish and everyone else is fit. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with McNeil. I still think we need a right winger. There's just a spot there at the moment.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think pacey player as well. I think we will become. A lot of people don't think this, but it gets to the point where we wasn't a passing football team, but when you start adding players like Grealish and Dewsbury Hall, who are all technically good passing players, do you think we're going to evolve into a passing football team now? Because I can't see us doing long balls and stuff like that. A lot of people were saying, now we've got Dewsbury Hall, now we've got Jack Grealish and Njai will get loads of free kicks, and obviously we've got big players, which is good, but I don't think we need to rely on free kicks and set pieces. Now they'll be good because we're good at them, but I think our players are going to be that good with the ball at the feet on the deck that sometimes they're not just going to want to whip it in desperately. I think you're going to see us probably with Dewsbury Hall, Grealish and Njai want the ball at the feet. We could become a passing football team now, and that's what me and Paul's been shouting out for.
Yeah, I think I don't know whether we're going to suddenly become a high pressing side. I've never sort of seen us as that. There's been some games where we've actually maybe pushed up a little bit more and tried it, and sometimes it's been successful, but sometimes we've just had teams pass through. As I can see us still defending the halfway line, I can see us still doing that. But when we do win the ball on that halfway line, we've got a little bit more trickery, we've got a bit more ball control, we've got a bit more composure. Christ almighty. Decore, bless him, always like him for Bournemouth and whatever. But when we won the ball and it was at his feet, we would surge forward. There'd be great opportunities to create something, but the players who had the ball didn't have the nous, the skill, the brain to create that clear-cut chance. It always ended up just sort of being running into cul-de-sacs or shooting from distance. I think when we win the ball on the halfway now, if you think Grealish is on the ball, Ndai's on the ball, Dewsbury Hall's on the ball, how can you not want to be a striker in that side? As long as Beto and Barry can actually run into the correct places, I think we could just be really exciting when we do win the ball back. It'll make those seats go. That sound when everyone gets up and your seats are clanging. I think we've got players who can make people stand up.
I remember when we first signed Njai, everyone was like, it's the first time we've had a player that gets you off a seat for a very long time, and it was true. It really was. And now we've got like 2, 3, 4 players that can really get you off your seat. So it's really exciting times to be an Everton fan now, I do believe. We've gone from having a team that, if you think back to when we had players like McNeil, Harrison, and this is no disrespect because McNeil can be good, Gomez, Tom Davis, Godfrey, Holgate. We had a lot of players that was just when you've got a game where you need someone to step up. These players just was average and they didn't step up and they just kind of ghosted the games. Didn't have much personality in the squad. We lacked personality, didn't we? And I think since David Moyes has come in, he's added a lot of players that have got personality in their football. And I think that's massive, isn't it? That when you've got a game where you need someone to have a bit of bollocks, a bit of like when things are tough, we used to be the same with Tim Cahill. Tim Cahill, when Everton was struggling, I thought we're all right. We've got Tim Cahill to look after us. I think Jack Grealish will be like that. I think we've got a lot of passionate players now with big personalities, haven't we, Paul? That I don't think will hide. That I think will come out to go to battle, and that really excites me.
Yeah, you got this. It's not just the personality. It's not just the rawness and naivety. You got to have a bit of strength in character as well. Branthwaite's got that. I think someone like Ndai's got that. And when you're talking about Tom Davis, Luckman, Ben Godfrey, these are young potential was fantastic. Yeah, young potential was fantastic, but when it didn't go well, you need those. It comes with experience, or just having the right manager at the right time or something. But you've got to come back. It's how you can come back, and I like the fact that maybe that's another thing that maybe people like about Jack is that it's not gone. He's not scoring all the time. He's not playing all the time. He's got the medals, which is fantastic. But if he's not getting picked, he's not spat his dummy out and all that sort of stuff.
He'll score 10 goals for Jack Grealish this season at least. He only scored 17 for Man City, which I find crazy. But I can't. He'll score goals for a lot of goals for us this season in that 10.
His assists as well, more than sort of anything really.
I shot at him as well.
I was surprised at how many goals he had scored. To be fair, it wasn't as many as I thought, but his assists are high in comparison. So I just think it's everything that he could do on that pitch, as well as his actual presence as well.
I need to call this out. We have got a subscriber on the channel that we love, but can I just warn you now that if you are swearing on the channel like this, you will get banned.
I wonder what you're on about then.
You will get banned swearing like this on the channel. I've seen a few people underneath not happy with this, and it's damn right out of order to mention that name on the channel. Well, I did read that Calvert-Lewin has sacked his agent. I think that's why. I should be I've known my stuff. I do.
You do.
Calvert-Lewin sacked his agent. So I get what you're thinking. You're thinking Calvert-Lewin sacked his agent because he's thinking you should have left me at Everton because now they've got Drewsbury and Jack Grealish and I would have bagged a lot of goals. Well, Calvert-Lewin, mate, you don't mess Evertonians around, mate. I think you're gone now. Go and join all these clubs that wanted you because you're so good. I don't think go back to Calvert-Lewin. I don't think go back to Calvert-Lewin. And I have also seen in the comments that we'll end up with Jack Harrison as well.
Well, a bit sorry for him, no. Leeds had a friendly. Did you see him getting?
You know what? You know what? Right, footballers are just people, but they are people that get paid a lot of money. But they are still just people at the end of the day. And obviously, Jack Harrison has anxiety and stuff like that. I have that myself, so I know how it feels. But you always do know when you're in the football industry that if you leave a club or turn your back on a club that loves you, they will have hatred for you. They will. It is what happens sometimes, isn't it? And I think Leeds never liked Jack Harrison with the way he left and the way he went to us. I think they wanted him to stay in the Championship with them and get them promoted again. So I get it. I do get it. They don't want him. Jack Harrison didn't want Leeds, and now Leeds don't want him. They don't have to want him, do they? That's the thing. We've had it with some players. We have some players that have left us with the way they've left us. If they come back, you wouldn't want them for crap, would you?
Yeah, it would be kind of funny if, and good luck to them, DCL and Jack were in Leeds' first 11 this year. Knowing our luck, they'd be frigging world beaters for some reason.
I think Calvert-Lewin's going to be one that goes at the very end of the transfer window, personally.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be one where a lot of teams are going to try and do a lot of... A team has a list of the best options, and then if the best options don't happen, they could end up to the Calvert-Lewin option. And that's no disrespect to him. I don't think he's at the top of the list. Otherwise, he would have been snapped up by now. So I do think Calvert-Lewin will eventually get signed by someone, probably Man United, hopefully. But I just don't know who. Saying that, Man United they've got Sesko, haven't they? So I don't think that will happen there now.
They look good going forward, but so do we now.
Maybe Newcastle. If Isaac's going on a right rampage, that could be.
And I think our defence is better as well. Actually, I think I think instead of one like large area being an issue, I think it is just little either people to provide competition, or maybe just right wing is probably the only other one if you're sort of looking at numbers. I would like us to get another striker and think Schmidt should go on loan. I do think that, but as an overall unit, I think we have got people who can play in all positions really.
I know you always try and calm me down and stuff. Sometimes you get excited. I'm a bad influence on you, but
You are.
let us know in the comments now as well, just how good are we? And you always tone it down, Paul, but yeah, I honestly do believe like we are shit hot this season. I honestly really do believe this is the dream team that we're creating. Because I think Njai is incredible. No one can tackle him. I think Dewsbury Hall, I was so impressed with the way he defended. I knew he was good in the final third, but the defensive work he gets stuck in. It's like a box of dynamite. He is a proper box-to-box of Dewsbury Hall. Garner Gay, we all know he puts 1 million tackles in one season. Grealish, insane. If we go and sign a right winger now, you've got to remember, we've got probably one of the best two centre-backs in the bloody Premier League. Seen the way Van Dijk was in that cup game. I found that funny. But no, we are going to sign a right back as well. We've got Mikalenko left back with a backup left back who probably needs experience. But how good is this team, Paul? Yeah. Would I be wrong in saying that we've got to be going for 7th Europa League, maybe go for top 4, maybe go to win the league?
Start Super League on our own,
I think we should.
It's that standard. I think what is good is that in one or half a transfer window, we've addressed quite a lot. I know, yeah. We've
no way, mate. Don't tone it down.
Tazil, you spot on, lad. Honestly,
no, Tazil, mate. You need to get excited with me. I'm telling you. You're just trying to do that. Tazil's that guy that bluffs. He's like a hustler, and he's like, you know what? I think we're going to do crap this season. Probably be in a relegation battle again, but really he's bluffing and he's thinking, yes, we're winning the league, but I'm just keeping it low toned. That's where Tazil is at. Don't worry about and stuff. We're the dog bowl.
Considering we've had half a transfer window, we've already plugged lots of gaps, and we've not just got anybody in. I think we brought quality in, and that's the difference. I think in January or next summer, whatever changes happen, you would hope that we just wouldn't be bringing bodies in. It would be to build on what we've already got. So straight away, that's a really good sign. And what I didn't say before, which I sort of remembered now, is that we've changed the structure a bit. It's not a Thelwell, or it's not a. It was the other ones, whoever the other ones were. It's not a director of football clashing heads with the manager. We've picked people to be sort of in a committee and in a network where they're responsible for that section of that job. And so Moyes has got a lot more control over it. And I'd certainly rather Moyes had a lot more control over it than, a director of football who'd be with us for 3 years, get slagged off and then bugger off. So I think sort of who we're bringing in is in those positions is important. And so far, because there's more of a connection and a link with the manager of the club, then already you can see the benefits.
Yeah, I completely agree. It was interesting to see Jack Grealish says David. I mean, they all say it. The manager convinced me, but he said David Moyes said the right stuff to him. So David Moyes might be attracting the players now. Tazil says, do keep your comments coming in. We are coming to the end now. We'll keep it under an hour. But we've kept it a bit longer. It was only going live for 20 minutes, but you've all kept your comments coming in, and we don't ignore you. We don't. We're not that type of channel. We are the Toffee Bluecast, so we're all together. And we are close to having a great side, Dan. This is personally to me, written to me. Just that right-hand side that worries me. Sort out that, and I'll be agreeing with you. Which that's not bad, Tazzle, because I thought you were saying I was giving it large, but you saying that we only need to sort out the right hand side to win the Premier League. You're giving it large with me there. I do agree. We do need a right winger. We need a right footer on the right winger, but I do think we'll get one. I really do think we'll get a right winger, and I think we'll get a right back as well. With Patterson's not going to be playing for us. I'm sorry, but he isn't. Coleman, I think Moyes is starting to realise that he can't rely on him. He's got him more to go in the changing rooms more than anything to be the Evertonian around. Jake O'Brien is a centre-back playing right-back, so I can't see how we wouldn't sign a right-back. So I do think we'll get a right-back. I do think we'll get a right winger. You've got to realise that I think that we was getting this Jack Grealish deal done anyway. And even though we was getting Jack Grealish, we'd put 45 million in for Tyler Diblin. 45 million on the table for Tyler Diblin. They're saying they want 50. So us Evertonians know that was separate to the Jack Grealish situation. So us Evertonians know that we've got 45 million to go on a winger. So I do think we're going to bring in a class winger. I don't want Everton to rush it. I don't want them to, because they can't get Tyler Diblin, go and get a flop. I would rather save my money and go for Tyler Diblin next season if that's the case. But I do think we need one this season. I'm not saying we don't. But I am just saying I don't want us to be wasting money, because where Tazzle's saying we need a right winger, Paul's saying we need a right winger, they've got to be good, haven't they, Paul? They can't be like a flop. They've got to be top notch. Otherwise, we could have just had Jack Harrison there. And this is, some people laugh at me, but Jack Harrison, he was okay. He wasn't crap. He was okay. He did the job, but he wasn't as good as you want him in the attacking sense of area. So we've got to have someone that's better than Jack Harrison, basically. And Jack Harrison wasn't that bad, but we just want more.
Yeah, we want an attacking winger. You know, Jack Harrison was a right midfielder who was who could put a shift in defensively, but not always affect the game going forward, and that's what we want to be able to do. Someone said before, do you think Dyche would have pulled this off? Not a chance. Not a chance, because they wouldn't have trusted him.
No.
They wouldn't have trusted it. No one trusted Dyche to be able to do that in a sort of long term. And that's Dyche's own fault, really, because like some managers, he's put himself in a box and he kept us up. He kept us up. You kind of got to help him that way, appreciate him that way. But no chance would they have given this sort of responsibility.
Do you know what I was really impressed with? This pre-season, we wasn't that good, fair enough. But I like how Moyes was really demanding on the standard of the way we should be. Moyes was fuming, and he put a lot of pressure on the freaking group to say, this ain't good enough. Where sometimes Dyche would have just, he's not a high-profile manager, so he would just settle for what he's got. David Moyes was saying in the press conferences, we need players. We need players. We are going to get players. We need players. He wasn't like being quiet about it, and he was shouting out loud. So I think the turnaround that David Moyes has done with us is fantastic. And some people will forget where we was, but honestly, remember where we was. Like, we did a transfer window, didn't we, Paul, with Rob on and everyone, the Toffee Bluecasters. All we did was get rid of Iwobi. We didn't sign no one. You would never have believed we'd be in this situation that we're in now, talking about getting Dewsbury Hall and Jack Grealish a couple of years ago, where we said get in the new stadium and we probably get better owners, and that's the light at the end of the tunnel. It is the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm telling you, it's looking good. It is looking
also
good.
As well. I think what we've seen in the signings, or most of them, is the average age coming down as well. We've signed some young players, which is good, because one, there's legs in there. There should be a bit of pace in there, and there's also potential sell-on value as well. And sort of reminded me, because it was just because some people were mentioning the under 21s tonight. I saw our equaliser. Braden, is it Graham up front? scored the equaliser. We would the next stage after we've got a solid first team, is then having some lads from the under-21s coming through. We've not had as much as that as we'd maybe want in the past. So Harrison's another one who's in the conversation. These kind of signings might mean that he does end up going on loan again somewhere. But he's probably one of the few to broken through properly in the last few years, last 5 years even. So the next stage will then be seeing if we can actually get some younger lads through, which would be nice.
I had to drop a bit of music on that comment then, saying I'll just come in late. Jack Grealish. I can't believe it. I'm so excited to watch us as well. I think that's the thing, isn't it, Paul, as well? You really can't wait now, can you? I couldn't wait to watch Dewsbury Hall in the friendly, but now I'm thinking oh my God, I've never been so excited to watch Everton, you can't wait to see how it connects. And Jai, Dewsbury Hall and Grealish, we've been praying for someone to be as good as Njai. These players are and they're Njai quality. If not, Grealish could be better. Probably will be.
I think I was going to say as well that the impact of Grealish for me, I look at the game on Monday away at Leeds, newly promoted. Sky wanting, obviously, the newly promoted side to win. Really, I was concerned. To be fair, I didn't sort of fancy us really. I just with pre-season not sort of clicking and things like that, and obviously the Roma game and those not putting chances away, and then one person comes in and it makes your outlook a lot brighter. And I actually do fancy us to get something if Jack is firing, because I think it could make Barry or Beto fire a bit better as well.
I was going to say that. There's two things I was going to say before we come to an end of the show, people. And thanks all for your comments and stuff like that. We massively, already, you're all regulars. We know you. That's what we love about it. We all know each other. But Evertonians in the house, loads of them. I think, and this could be me, probably just Daniel thinking, but I honestly think Jack Grealish is going to help our strikers, because Beto is someone that listens, and I think Jack Grealish will tell him where to be. He'll tell him to time his runs right. He'll tell him he's got that experience, hasn't he, Jack Grealish, where he's saying, right, I'm going to put you in here. I'm going to put you in here in training. And Jack Grealish will say, I'm going to cut you in. These are my strengths. This is what I do as Jack Grealish. You need to make sure you work around me. And I do think David Moyes is going to, and someone said this, I think someone said this on, I can't remember what channel it was. I've been listening to a lot of stuff, but someone said the good thing about Jack Grealish going to Everton is that Everton will build around him. Do you know what I mean? David Moyes will do a lot of stuff round to suit Jack Grealish, where at Manchester City, they didn't do that. They've got that many good players. They don't do that, Manchester City. But I do think when Jack Grealish comes to Everton, we'll play to all of his strengths. And I think that's why he's probably made the move, Paul. So that was the first thing I was going to say. And the second thing I was going to say was, I know we play crap with a back three, but do you think a back three could be possible this season? Because sometimes playing the back three gets that extra attacker in. Because just for example, if we played a back three, you can actually play a striker and Jai and Grealish in their number 10 position behind them, as the triangle. So could we pull off a back three with these players, or are we always going to be a 4-2-1-3-1 or a 4-5-1?
No, I think we'll usually be, because it's Moyes and that's how he works, and that's fine. That's all right. It just does mean that we've got maybe more options if we're behind, or we need to suddenly grab a goal in the last 10, 15 minutes. 4-3-3 is a fair shout. Yeah,
because you'll probably get McNeil on the wing or wing back and something like that. McNeil might even end up playing left back sometimes. You just never know, do you? Where he's going to fit. The standard's that high now that we
almost a spike, really. If you think about it, you'd end up having, say, Barry or Beto as your point, and then Ndai of the left of those forwards, and whoever we do get, and I hope we do get someone, soon on the that right hand side, and then Grealish being just in that 10 spot behind is ideal, absolutely ideal.
Yeah, completely agree. We are all excited. I know a lot of us are going for the kip now, and so are we. It is the end of the show, people. We've said we'll end it under an hour. We've gone 28 seconds over. Please forgive us. This is the Toffee Blue Cast. We've enjoyed being back. We've signed Jack Grealish. You're going to struggle to calm me down the next couple of days because I can't see us not winning the league. We was 500-1 to win the Premier League. Now we're 300-1. I can see it going down to evens. I can see it going down to evens. Yeah, they've gone 200 away, Paul. 500-1 to win the league, and it's gone 300-1 now. So I wouldn't be surprised after we sign this right winger if we're probably evens to win the Premier League.
Yeah. Leicester ruined it for everybody. No one's getting 5,000-1 to win the league anymore.
But we ain't, because we're just the famous CFC. They know. The Premier League, no, mate. Masters are sitting thinking, I should have known how big this football club is. Absolute bell. What did you think of Mashubi at the stadium?
Say that again.
What did you think of Mashubi at the stadium?
Yeah, fair dues.
We'll leave it at that.
I mean, he was just he wasn't stingy. He was just incompetent. But he did get the stadium.
Well, he did nearly say he did get the stadium done, but he nearly sold us a 777 partners that went bankrupt and probably would have finished off football. Did you know what? There's pros and cons, and we won't end it on Mashiri. We'll end it on Everton and win the Premier League. We're back, baby. We are back, ain't we? Do you know where Peter Reid? Come on, Paul. Are we back to Peter Reid trophies?
Oh my God, that was the best. That was the best.
I felt like, do you know where you feel like hairs on the back of your neck choked up and all that? Like,
yeah.
Because you watch Peter Reid in the era. I don't go far. Yeah. I didn't watch Peter Reid in his days. But that was just something magical about that. Like how Peter Reid must have felt inside. You would feel the same. Do you know what I mean? But in a different body. But it would take you back to when you was younger. It's such a special moment. Peter Reid coming. I thought that was amazing. That was. I wish that there was more in the ground, but. Hey ho. Everybody, we could speak to you all night, but we've got to go. Up the Toffees, have a boss one. Going to end the stream. There's going to be no intro, but there will be one next time. Have a boss one. Up the Toffees.